Good morning. It is the 3rd of December, 2025. It is 9:56 Central Standard Time. For those of you who have never seen one of my videos, heaven refers to me as general. I have a word this morning from Yeshua HaMashiach to his sleeping church. Yeshua said, "Hear me, for I speak as the one whose eyes are a flame of fire, whose voice thunders over the waters, whose feet stand upon the nations with authority that cannot be challenged. You ask why the nations tremble, why your land has fallen into confusion, why lawlessness rises like smoke from a fire that will not die down. You ask why children are weak, why men are spineless, why women are burdened beyond their strength. You ask why the church has become a hollow shell, a sanctuary without glory, a place where my name is spoken but my presence is absent. I will tell you plainly, because those who stand behind the pulpits have feared the applause of men more than the fire of God, because shepherds have fed themselves with comfort while my sheep starved, because they traded the Lion of Judah for a mascot, a gentle image, a soft king who never confronts, never convicts, never commands holiness or repentance. This is cotton candy Christianity, sweet for a moment, dissolving in the heat of trial, leaving nothing behind but weakness and deception. It is written that my people will perish for a lack of knowledge, yet many pastors have removed knowledge from the sanctuary entirely. They have stopped preaching my word. They have stopped lifting the sword of the Spirit above the lies of this age. They have stopped warning about hell because hell offends the comfortable and truth offends the lukewarm. The offering plate became their altar. The applause became their incense, and their own reputation became their God. When leaders refuse to preach about sin, when they refuse to call rebellion by its true name, the people grow dull and heavy, unable to discern the hour they live in. They raise children who know entertainment but not endurance, children who know desire but not discipline, children who tremble under pressure because they were never shown how to stand. The parents were not equipped, so they could not equip their sons and daughters. And the pulpits that should have been war rooms became stages. The prophets that should have cried aloud became silent. The watchmen that should have warned of the enemy coming over the wall lay asleep on their post. Now look at the land. Confusion reigns, darkness is celebrated, perversion is normalized, wickedness holds high office, fear governs the timid, entire households are left unguarded because no one taught them how to fight. The enemy walks through homes with ease because no one anointed the doorpost and no one covered the children with my name. And so many ask why the nation is falling. I tell you again, it is because those entrusted with truth refuse to speak it, because those entrusted with fire refuse to carry it, because those entrusted with the oil traded it for worldly acceptance. They said once saved, always saved, but they did not tell you that faith without fruit is dead. They said grace covers all, but they did not tell you that grace teaches you to deny ungodliness. They told you that heaven belongs to the comfortable, but heaven belongs to the righteous, and righteousness requires surrender. The church gave generation after generation a watered-down gospel, and now those generations cannot stand under the weight of demonic assignment. You have a culture of believers who know me as the lamb, but not as the lion, who know my kindness, but not my kingship, who love comfort, but despise correction. I did not change. They changed who they preached. I am calling my remnant to stand up, to speak plainly, to confront darkness without apology. I am calling you to shake the sleepers, to confront the cowards, to awaken the weak. Strengthen what remains, for the night is nearly spent, and the hour is far spent. The judge stands at the door. The king is preparing to rise from his seat. The nations will soon see the difference between the ones who truly serve me and the ones who performed religion for applause. To those who lead my people, I say this: return to the fire or step down. Return to truth or be silent. Warn the flock or I will remove you from your place. The souls of men are not your merchandise. The pulpit is not your stage. The church is not your empire. The word is not yours to dilute. To my remnant, I say this: do not soften your voice. Do not apologize for truth. Do not bow to the fragile expectations of this culture. Speak what I give you, for the hour is late and the harvest is white. You are placed here to shake, to confront, to tear down, to build, and to prepare the way for my return. Stand up and speak. The lukewarm will hate you, but I will stand with you. The cowards will mock you, but heaven will honor you. The sleepers will resist you, but some will awaken because of your obedience. This nation will not survive on comfort. It will only survive on conviction, and conviction is born of truth. So speak truth without fear, for I am coming soon, and every eye will see me, and every tongue will confess, and the ones who compromise for comfort will tremble. But the ones who stood in fire will shine like the sun in the kingdom of my Father. And now hear me concerning this matter, for many have lifted their tongues against my servant, my general, because she is a woman, because she adorns her face, because she refuses to clothe herself in the garments of religious bondage. They accuse her of vanity, yet their own hearts are full of pride. They accuse her of rebellion, yet they themselves rebel against my will. They accuse her of being unfit, yet they are unfit to carry even a portion of the mantle she bears. I do not choose my servants according to the rules of men. I choose according to the purpose of heaven. When I placed my mantle upon Deborah, the men of her generation trembled because they were unwilling to stand in the roles I gave them. When I revealed myself first to Mary Magdalene after my resurrection, many stumbled because they could not comprehend that the King of Glory entrusted the first declaration of the empty tomb to a woman. When I poured out my spirit at Pentecost, I declared that your sons and your daughters would prophesy. Yet many in this generation pretend they did not hear me. They argue that women cannot preach while their pulpits crumble under the weight of their own compromise. They forbid women to speak while they themselves refuse to speak the truth that could save their flock. They hide behind man-made doctrines while the world descends into darkness. They reject the ones I send because the vessel offends their tradition. And so I have done what they feared. I have raised up a woman in an hour when men refused to stand. I have placed authority upon a daughter because so many sons laid theirs down. I have chosen one they would reject to reveal the weakness of their hearts. You asked why I chose a woman as my general in this hour, and I will answer you plainly. Because when I called men, they sought comfort. When I called men, they feared criticism. When I called men, they loved reputation more than obedience. When I called men, they compromised with culture instead of contending for truth. When I called men, they refused to confront darkness because they feared losing followers, offerings, or approval. So I searched for one who would not bow, who would speak plainly, who would not tremble before the judgments of men, one who would not be seduced by the applause of the crowd, one who would say what I say regardless of who stands or who falls. And I found her, a woman, a fighter, a survivor of hell's assignments, one the world rejected but heaven marked. To those who question her appearance, hear me. I did not choose her for her eyelashes or lack of eyelashes. I did not choose her for skirts or cosmetics or any outer thing. I chose her because she carries fire. I chose her because she carries obedience. I chose her because she carries the scroll of this hour. I chose her because she fears God more than man. If the prophets of old wore sackcloth, it was because I commanded it. If my daughter wears armor that offends the religious, it is because her assignment is not to please them. She is not called to reflect their ideals. She is called to expose their weakness. The Pharisees accuse me for eating with sinners. They accuse John for his clothing. They accuse my apostles for breaking tradition. If they judge them, they will certainly judge you. But their judgment holds no weight in heaven. To those who say a woman cannot lead, I say this: you have silenced your own sons, therefore I will speak through your daughters. You have rejected the fire, therefore I will give it to those you dismissed. You have quenched the spirit, therefore I will pour oil upon unlikely vessels. Lest the rocks cry out in your place, I will raise up whomever I choose. I did not ask your permission. I did not consult your traditions. I did not seek your approval. The throne of God does not bow to your interpretations. I chose a woman because you would not stand. I chose a woman because the hour demands courage, not comfort. I chose a woman because the remnant needed a general who would not flinch in the face of darkness, who would not bend beneath pressure, who would not soften the message to secure acceptance. And I chose her knowing that many would stumble because of it. So let them stumble. The remnant will hear. The remnant will rise. For I am the one who appoints, and I am the I am the one who establishes leaders in their